What does woke mean to you?
Woke?
Yeah,
Like you woke up?
No, like they're so woke.
I have no idea what that means.
You've never heard of it?
Never.
Welcome to Clips and Conversation. I'm Brenda Sue. As a hairdresser, every month I talk to hundreds of clients, hearing firsthand how words shape their experiences. Somewhere between cuts and color, I realized how much our words shape the way we live. So I started paying attention and asking questions. And that's how this podcast started. This is a space where we explore one word at a time, what it means, how we use it, and how it influences us. In each episode, the guest is not a person, it's a word. My clients, people I have built trust with for years, define what that word means to them, without me giving them an explanation or context. That way, their answers come from where they are, not from where I think they should be. We aren't trying to agree on a definition. There is no right or wrong answer. If we can listen to how someone else defines a word and see it through their eyes, not just our own, we can start to understand each other more deeply. Listen in with real voices, real stories, and real meaning. Our first guest word is woke, and I think it has to be because that is the word that inspired this whole podcast. I kept hearing that word about a year ago, mostly used around politics because it was inauguration time and election time. And I was a little confused because I had what I would call a spiritual awakening, finding my true self. And in my mind, I was using woke and awake interchangeably. So when I heard woke, I thought, how did politics get this word? I decided to talk to my clients and I started asking them what they thought it meant. And I had to start writing everything down because everybody's answers were so different. So that question turned into conversation, and conversations turned into this podcast. What does woke mean to you?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
You've heard it though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something that interests me one way or another. I don't know what it means. I honestly don't.
I am not sure what it means, but I know it's a put down.
Honestly, I just know it's a movement that is something big and changing, and I just got to figure it out. Whether I agree or disagree, I still got to kind of figure out where I fit
And accept it.
When I hear woke, it's usually in a negative connotation as far as people talking about other people with more progressive ideas in a negative way. Like, they're so woke. So really, when I hear it, it makes me think of people disagreeing with somebody else's point of view.
Merriam-Webster's definition of woke is aware of and actively attentive to important societal issues, especially issues of racial and social justice. When was the first time you heard the word woke?
It was in my political science class, late 80s. And it was a term that was used by the Black Panthers. They were a sort of Black supremacy, Black militant group. They were sort of the antithesis or the opposite of Martin Luther King's movement. To me, woke encapsulates the whole postmodernist, neo-Marxist ideology. But people use the term loose and fast. And so when they use the word woke, you have to kind of go back and say, okay, what's the context? What's the topic of discussion? And what's they use that word? Can you sort of reverse engineer of like, what are they saying? What do they mean? Because that word over time has changed.
I've only heard woke in the Black community, and it's usually whenever people are mentioning politics or like standing up for their own race and things like that. I was married to a Black man, and that's kind of a lot when I heard it, and with his family, and they mentioned it quite a bit. But that's really the only place I've heard it.
I think I hear the word woke a lot more online than people using it in real life situations and conversations.
Well, I guess what comes to mind is the political leaning thought process, but I guess that depends on your perspective. Anybody nowadays might cringe a little when they hear that, because it's built up so many kind of predisposed ideas of it.
One client shared the word as intertwined with race, politics, and sexuality.
To me, woke are so one-sided. You can't hear anyone else's opinion or reason with them, and you can't listen to other options to get all the details and make decisions that might be common sense.
Woke, I feel like, is kind of the extreme. I feel like there's a healthy balance of making people feel like they're included in everything, making sure things are diverse enough. There's a balance to it, but woke is like the extreme version of it.
I think it's the dumbest word. I do. People say, oh, you're woke because you want something that person doesn't agree with. So they call you woke because you're not awake to understand it.
That word woke for me is a very ugly word. I think it creates divisiveness amongst all of us who I believe very firmly we are all children of God. We need to be more united.
For one person, the word even felt like a form of gaslighting.
I think people have used the word woke as a way to try and alienate. And a lot of people started saying if you believe a certain way, they try to diagnose you with this horrible woke disease. There's something wrong with you. I think it can be pretentious.
Woke is a Republican expression for whatever they don't agree with. I would say it's Republican crazy talk.
So the definition of woke, in my mind, is being aware of social injustice, being aware of inequality, and the fact that it's being used by conservatives as something to denote that things are bad, is it's never more a clear right-leaning dog whistle.
I think it involves inclusiveness. I think woke is a very democratic word, a deep state word, and making everybody loves, hugs, and giggles. And I'm going to give and I'm going to make your life better no matter who you are. And whether you're Republican or Democratic, there are just issues in this world that you can not like and not want to include into your life.
It even felt like a word for someone that people were blind to moving forward.
Woke, from what I have read and heard about it, is people who are supportive of either minorities or those who don't have much of a voice, mainly equal rights to a degree, but who are sensitive to the needs of those who don't get to express themselves or be understood as they wish.
I don't know if it's a real definition, but more a perspective of what's thrown out there nowadays, because it's almost like people use the term as they've gotten this new level of intelligence that is great until you disagree with them, and then they want to throw a temper tantrum about how you're absolutely wrong, and almost an intolerant behavior when they're trying to act like they figured out a different path. It's great that we're all different and have different perspectives instead of being all the same.
Woke is knowing and being aware and, in a sense, observant, because when people say woke, it's how you create your knowing of certain information. It's definitely not just knowledge itself, it's the process of you gaining that knowledge and what you do with it.
So the way to look at what being woke is, I would almost say what hippies used to be, that movement would almost be this time's movement of that. People trying to socially be aware and active of what's going on, and sometimes pushing the benchmark of what is right and what's wrong, and redefining things as well.
Doesn't that kind of mean just being open and accepting of all things?
I think it can be, aware. That's even what it meant to me. I was waking up to my spirituality. Some people are waking up to politics. Some people are waking up to their identity. I think when we need people to agree with us on what a word means, that's the division.
Right. And the rainbow's everyone's. We got to show.
I remember one client describing woke as the willingness to speak your own truth, even when it goes against the majority.
So my definition of woke takes all the polarity out of it. It's being aware of the world around you and using that to make your stances whatever they are, because we as a society, have the ability to think individually. It shouldn't be a negative thing to be woke. You should be able to be woke and lean whatever way you so please. It's just being aware of what's going on around you, like politically, environmentally, locally.
To me, woke means having a deeper understanding of something, which can come from having an experience with whatever you're woke about. I think being woke is a good thing, because when you're woke, you understand it better, and
you can't go back.
You can't go back to your old ways. Exactly.
I love that woke's a thing. I feel bad that people think it's just a party move, when it really just needs to be just a humanity move, right? It's just being aware that people have struggles that you don't know about. The word is overused in a lot of different contexts. And so for me, it's more about waking up to your own soul, your spirituality, doing your own inner work on yourself and what you believe in, and moving more towards peace and love and improving the things that you can in your life. More awareness, basically.
For me, I go internal. Once I woke up to the knowledge that there's a place in all of us beyond identity, beyond our opinions and beliefs, a shared consciousness, I could not unsee it. I couldn't go back to sleep. And after hearing all these responses, maybe being woke is about waking up to anything. And once you're awake, the question becomes, what are you seeing it through? And maybe that's where perspective begins. And that's the next episode. Thank you for spending time with me. Until next time, stay curious, open, and keep the conversation going.